Hi everyone, I'm Kim Banjang. Today's dish is the representative egg dish of Korea, China, and Japan. You may think it is a little bit lame, but the more simple the dish, the more endless the recipe is. There will always be eggs in your fridge, right? Eggs are favorite food of all ages and men all over the world. Recipes are also of wide variety. How do you eat the eggs? I will add some recipes to you today. Today, I will cook an egg dish that represents Korea, China, and Japan, and compare the difference in the recipes. After watching this video, your fridge will have twice as many eggs as before. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Okay, let's compare the ingredients of the three dishes. I prepared 3 eggs for tashi tamagoyaki from Japan. The most important ingredient among these is hondashi. It is a condiment made of katsuobushi. Japanese sushi restaurant and shabu-shabu restaurant macerate carp and katsuobushi in 60-degree water for hours to make base soup. I think it is a little bit unnecessary to make this base soup for hours at home to make just egg roll. So I suggest replacing it with hondashi. It tastes almost like the original one. If you don't have hondashi, you can try it with other base soup condiments. The taste will be completely different. But it doesn't matter if the base of taste is different because the main purpose is to taste the texture of the Japanese unique soft omelette. Okay, it is stir-fried tomato egg from China. It is a very common dish in Chinese home. No matter how bad someone is at cooking, everyone knows how to cook it. But just as instant noodle tastes different depending on the person who cook it. If you cook it as I cook it, you will be able to eat it very deliciously. And you will be surprised how simple ingredients can make such a delicious dish so easily. Don't forget to use olive oil for this dish. Lastly, it is a steamed egg with fantastic appearance from Korea. If possible, prepare salted shrimp. If you don't have salted shrimp, you can also replace it with salt. Please prepare the ingredients according to the recipe and just do as I do. You probably cannot help feeling slightly small if you put this dish on the table for someone. I will trim all the ingredients first. Chop the salted shrimp into small pieces. Make a cut in the top of the tomato and blanch in boiling water for about 2 minutes. You must peel the tomato before cooking this dish. If tomatoes melt in your mouth, but the tomato skin stay in your mouth, it will interfere with your taste. When the water boils, turn off the heat and gently roll the tomatoes. Then tomato peel off easily, right? And cut the tomato in slices. Now, let's start Japanese tashi tamagoyaki. It looks very simple, but it's the most difficult dish to cook today. This dish requires a high level of skill. The key point of this dish is to give it a soft texture like pudding, so you have to beat the egg for a long time. The longer you beat the egg, the smoother texture later on. Add sugar, hondashi, soy sauce, and other ingredients in the prepared water, and mix well. You may be worried that it is unfamiliar with the taste because it contains a lot of sugar. But don't worry, if you put in a spoon of sugar, it tastes just right sweet. Soy sauce is not for salty taste, but for the scent of soy sauce. You can put it in or not. If you put soy sauce in it, just a little bit is okay. Now, shift the egg into the blended water. You can make the texture softer by repeatedly filtering the egg in a thinner layer. Okay, mix the egg and blended water well and prepare the oil. Prepare a kitchen towel also, because you have to bake egg by greasing the pan continuously. If you put egg on your chopstick and drop it on the pan and make a sizzling sound, it means heat is high enough to bake the egg. Now, put the first egg into the pan. Oh, I timidly turned on the fire too low, and the heat of the oil went down quickly. When bubbles rise on the egg, keep popping with the chopsticks. This will make the egg flow filling and dense. Because the egg is very soft, it is difficult to roll it at first. So gather the egg to the front part of the pan and make the front part of egg thick. Now, I'm going to roll the egg. Okay, the eggs are rolled up pretty nicely. Oh shit, the egg popped a little at the end. That's okay. I still have to roll the egg for a few more times. I can make it pretty enough. Grease on the front and back of the pan and put in the second egg. After 4 eggs into a pan and lift the rolled egg slightly with the chopsticks. Then the egg is placed under the rolled egg and the egg will roll into one, right? I like to recommend you just roll the egg with a pan spatula. Frankly, I wanted to roll the egg with a spatula, but I'm rolling the egg with a chopstick because I'm afraid I don't look scared. I'm going to roll it up again. Oh, the egg was ripped. Damn it. Do I have to start all over again? Let's try to recover the egg again. Okay, I put the separated egg together again. You should never force your chopstick when you flip the egg. Your chopstick just hold the egg slightly and turn the direction of gravity. It will be much easier to flip the egg if you memorize this formula before cooking. Okay, repeat the same process. Hold the rolled egg with the chopsticks. I'm always nervous before I flip the egg. Ouch! That's okay. Let's repeat the same process again. 1, 2. Not bad, not bad. I'm going to add the egg. If it is this much left, I have to pour it all at once. But I'm going to divide the egg twice, just in case. Again. Oops! Ah! My god. Back of the rolled egg was burst. I'm afraid I will have to do it again from the beginning. Now, at the last egg. This is the most important attempt. If you roll the egg well at the end, you can cover all the blemishes and make a 3D Tashitamagoyaki. Oh, I'm very nervous. I just have to flip it over, but I'm just dragging my feet while thinking about whether I to try or not. Now, this is the last try. Oh my god, this was my last chance. Okay, I will try to recover quickly. If it is this shape, it is like to judge it as a failure and make it again. But in fact, this was second attempt. This is the second video I've taken since I failed once. Press each side of the egg with the stapler to shape it, and put a spade on the egg. Be free, be free. Originally, the final step of Tashitamagoyaki is also to shape the egg with a spatula or wooden frame. This removes the air inside the egg and fills the density inside. The result I wanted didn't come out, but I will assume that I've completed Tashitamagoyaki. When you finish the shape of Tashitamagoyaki, wrap the egg with matches to shape the Tashitamagoyaki to make slowly cook the inside of Tashitamagoyaki by keeping the heat inside. I will wrap Tashitamagoyaki in makis for about 5 minutes and cut it. In Japan, Tashitamagoyaki is also eaten with ground radish called taikon oroshi. Just like when Japanese eat grilled fish or tempura, it really takes a lot of work just for the rolled omelette. Now do you know why Japanese food is expensive, right? It takes a lot of labor to make Japanese food. Originally, I was supposed to plate a rectangular plate that fit the size of the Tashitamagoyaki, but I didn't have it, so I just plated it with an informer. I'm not satisfied, but it's done. Now, I'll make a stir-fried tomato eggs. Make sure to use olive oil, and if there is no olive oil, please use cooking oil first and use olive oil next time, okay? Beat the egg with water and vinegar. Water softens egg and vinegar coagulates the protein in the egg, creating more chewy texture. Now, put egg in the pan and tear the egg when it is half cooked. If you tear it too small, there is no chewing texture. So, don't tear the egg too early. Also, don't tear the egg too small. Put olive oil again. Put the 3 brothers of scallion, garlic, and ginger in a pan. Garlic is also a heavenly combination of olive oil. The aroma of luxurious garlic stir-fried in olive oil comes up slightly. Next, add a tomato. I recommend you use fully ripened tomato as much as possible. It melts faster in the heat, get more water, and smells also better. When you heat the tomatoes start to melt. If you gently press the tomato's moisture flows out and becomes a thick soup. I use a unripe tomato, so I don't have much water as I thought. If God asks a tomato what your wish is, I'm sure tomato will answer them. It is a ketchup or roasted in olive oil. When tomatoes are roasted in olive oil, the flavor of tomatoes becomes very attractive, as you know. If you share this dish with someone in your mind, you will start rating right away. And you all know that if you fry tomatoes in olive oil, the effect of anti-cancer and antioxidants increase tenfold, right? Tomato is properly melted and then season tomato with salt, sugar, and pepper. Put in about 2 pinches of sugar. Sugar is not added to make it sweet, but extract the taste of the other ingredients. Among Chinese, there are people who put water at the end, but you should never do that. If the tomato have enough moisture, you add dissolved starch at the end and stir fry it. You can make it the best topping sauce for a bowl of rice topped with tomato eggs. If you put it on top of rice and eat it with rice, you can have a fantastic experience. The acidity and freshness of tomato combined with the aroma of olive oil, and when this scent wraps the rice grains again, the taste falls into an ecstasy, as if the Mediterranean sunshine is shining strongly on your mouth. Make sure you try it, okay? You can check it out by watching the tasting video at the end of this video. Add some scallion at the end and mix one more time. The stir-fried tomato egg is complete. Just looking at this food makes my mouth water. Oh my god. This time, it is Korean volcano steamed egg that looks fantastic. You need an earthen pot. If you don't have an earthen pot, ceramic pot is also okay. But you can make steamed egg without either. You have to use the smallest size of the earthen pot. You have to fill it up to 80% of the depth of earthen pot with egg. You have to set it at 80% of the depth of earthen pot. If it is less than 80%, the egg won't swell up. Over 80%, the egg pop out of the earthen pot. First, heat the egg well. Put 100 ml of water in the earthen pot. Put mushrooms and scallions in the earthen pot. You can also add other ingredients, such as carrots and onions according to your taste. And put salted shrimp and salt and sugar. Sugar is not added to make it sweet. Please make sure add the same amount as the recipe. When the water boils up, add sesame oil to make a savory scented base. And pour the egg up to 80% of the height of the earthen pot. Keep stirring and scrape away the egg on the wall and flow over the earthen pot. After about 3 minutes, the egg will all coagulate. Lastly, add chili powder according to your taste and mix it well. Of course, it doesn't matter if you don't put it in. Then set the fire to the lowest. Find a bowl that fits the size of the earthen pot and place it on the earthen pot. Now, all you have to do is wait for the egg to swell up inside. After about 5 minutes, the sizzling sound comes out and the water inside boils and overflows. If you smell the burning of egg when you smell it, it's done. Okay, I'm looking for the scene if the egg has swollen up inside. Ta-da! Oh good, it's swollen well. It's really shaped like a volcano, right? This steamed egg has salted shrimp in it, so the taste is also amazing. Okay, let's watching the tasting video together. If you click subscribe and like, I'll be back. Hope you have a happy meal.